Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Motivation Monday. Hey, Q-Man, Quentin, thanks for joining us. Let's see, Mete Jade Dwani, Loeb Lion, thanks for joining us today. What day is Monday morning, and it's time to get rolling. Oh, thanks, Quentin. Man, I tell you, sometimes I get so excited I forget to do what I'm supposed to do. Now I'm better. What you say, baby, from Mississippi? Atlanta's in the house. New York is in the house. Hey, Sade, how are you today? Wow, what a Monday morning, everybody. I'm excited about it. This is number one. You know, all the things we talk about, for those who are new to the program, are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And today, and of course, you know, it's available on Amazon, and be sure to visit our website, herbertharris.info, www.herbertharris.info, and there you'll see our link tree and all the stuff that we do, and the music and the home study courses. But today I was listening to a television program, and it was talking about what they call it, the great resignation, that people are not coming back into the workforce and the people are silently quitting. And it brought back a quote from my Aunt Lavinia. My Aunt Lavinia was a school teacher, but she was like a wise person and one of the early administrators as a principal. She was very smart, had more degrees than a thermometer, okay? But she said, you know, as a leader, as an administrator, she said, the worst thing you can have is when a person quits their job and doesn't tell you. In other words, they keep showing up in the physical form, but they're not there in the mental form. They're just going through the motions. And they were talking about how so many people now don't want to go back to work. And I really wanted to look behind that, because I was reading some of the commentary, and it was like they're painting a picture like people are lazy and people don't want to work. But I think something that's happening is as a result of the pandemic, many people, because you didn't have to keep going to work every day, you couldn't go to work every day, many people got a chance to take a look at their lives and say, wait a minute, hold it. Is this all there is? You know, I've been going to this job and, you know, thinking that this was all there is and doing what they asked me to do. But now that I can't go there anymore, and, you know, maybe I'm not even getting paid, but in any event, I don't have to go there anymore, and I get a chance to reflect. And, you know, spiritually, it says, you know, to go into the quiet, go into the corner. And when you're alone and you get a chance to really think and see yourself, it gives you an opportunity to give yourself a great value. When you have a job, guess what? Your employer, for the most part, most employers only pay you enough to keep you from quitting. They really don't care about your skill level. As long as you are able to do whatever they know, whatever they need to have done, they pay you just enough to keep you from quitting. And the way that you distinguish yourself in the job market, we used to always teach this, you know, we've heard it before. It's like, do more than is asked of you. Come in a little earlier. There's some people who roll in at 9 o'clock. There are others who are there at 8:45. And there's this mindset, if you're there at 8:45, that shows that you're more dedicated to the job. And if you stay after 5, that shows that you're more dedicated to the job. And therefore, when it's time for raises and whatnot, you're going to be the first one in line. But what often happens is the corporations, the companies have such a, you might say, inhumane. In other words, many companies don't see you as a person anymore. They just see you as a functioning entity necessary to do whatever they need to have done. And so they only pay you enough to keep you from quitting. The interesting side of that, though, the flip side of that is this. Unless you're a very special person, You only do enough to keep from getting fired. So for the most part, you really have this whole dance that people on the job have. They get paid just enough to keep them from quitting, and they work just hard enough to keep from being fired. And you know what that creates? That creates a comfort zone. That creates a comfort zone. And when you're in a comfort zone, you do not grow. And so many people have been going through this job cycle in that comfort zone, do just enough to keep from getting fired, get paid just enough to keep you from quitting. And they continue along. Once that thing is taken away, that comfort zone is taken away, and you take a look and you start asking different questions. And that's why our topic today is, are you asking the right questions? I think in the corporate mindset, the only question is, how much do I have to pay you to have you continue doing what you're doing? And I think people are looking for something else. One of the greatest things about being an employee and an employer-employee relationship is when the employee feels that they're appreciated. When the employee feels that they're special. When the employee feels that they're part of something bigger. You notice now the training module now, if you ever ask somebody a question, we went to get some tests the other day, and we asked the lady, something like, where did the test go, to be read or analyzed? She said, I don't know. How long does it take? I don't know. Her job was just to administer the test. Now, wouldn't it have been a much better, a different feeling if she could say, hey, well, the test is sent off to Raleigh or to Charlotte, and it usually takes like 24 to 48 hours to come back. But this type of linear training where you only are taught enough and they only pay you enough to do this one little isolated area of the job. And so if you notice right now, customer service is taking a hit. I called my bank and I just refused to hang up. I held on for 48 minutes. And all of you who are listening today, I know the same. You call and they always say the same thing. Due to the high volume of calls, the wait time may be more than is normal. Ha! Folks, it's because they don't have enough employees. It's because as long as you're functioning on the idea that it's just the bottom line, that's all that counts, then they're going to cut down the employees to the point where they can increase their bottom line. As a matter of fact, one of my friends worked at a bank. I'm not picking on banks, but I was there and I was like, why is it I've been waiting 2 hours to get to see you and everybody's running around in stress? She said, well, this bank normally functions with 15 people, and now they're only 13. They've cut our staff back. So you have 13 people who are doing the work of 15 people. And maybe if you may give them a little more money, but really and truly, when you really need that job, employers push you to that point where you just won't, just before you decide to quit. And so they suck all that extra time out of you, and the customers suffer. So I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, two employees short. Let's just say an employee makes $25,000 a year. So there's 2 employees, that's $50,000 a year that goes to the bottom line per branch. And if there are 1,000 branches, 1,000 times 50,000 is what is that? 5 million? 50 million. That's how companies increase their bottom line. So, not bashing companies, but I'm saying there's a reality now. And for those of us who are trying to create a happy, joyful lives for ourselves, it's important that we ask the right questions to determine the actions that we will take to move on to our success, to create the lives for ourselves and for our families. And the important thing about this is it's only when you ask questions that you grow. If you don't ask questions, if you get into that comfort zone Someone once said, the trouble with a comfort zone is nothing grows there. If you get into that comfort zone and stop growing, that means you stop asking questions. So those of you who are watching on Instagram, on YouTube, start asking these questions now. There are two types of questions. There's a spiritual basis for this. In the scriptures, it says, seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened. Ask and it shall be answered. So if you don't seek, you ain't going to find it. And if you find it, you won't even know what it is. It's like a person who hits the lottery. If they get all that money, there's a large percentage of them that within 5 years, most of the money's gone. So what happened? Because the seeking takes you to a certain level of consciousness. You see, the law of attraction says this, that when you get to your level of life is based on your level of consciousness. So if you have a consciousness of poverty, lack, and limitation, you attract lack and limitation into your life. On the other hand, if you have a consciousness of abundance, of success, of joy and happiness, you attract that into your life. Now, when you seek and ask and knock, when you ask the right questions, you begin to develop a consciousness, a concept of what you need to move forward in your life. There are two types of questions. The questions that you should ask yourself. And that's what many people are going through right now in the great resignations. And then there are questions that you ask others. What are some of the questions you ask yourself? One of the most critical questions is this. When we look at where we're going, and as we close out this year, that's why I wanted to get this message in. Ask this question: what can I do differently to get the desired results in my life? What can I do differently? So when you look at your goals, and if you don't have goals, then you need to just get off the program. Because if you don't have goals, you're like a ship without a rudder. So I'm assuming that you already have your copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, that you've gone through chapter 3, the law on vision, that you've written your goals and that you've mainly internalized them. And so as you move on to close out this year, to ask this critical question: what can I do differently to get the desired results? So maybe it's, I need to step up my game. Maybe I need to put in more time and effort. Maybe I need to increase my relationships. Maybe I need to get to know some people who can help me get where I want to go. Jeffrey, thank you. Thornhill, thank you. Caring, thank you for joining us. So what can I do differently to get different results? Second question to ask yourself: what skills do I need to get desired results in my life? What skills do I need? So as you're moving to close out this year, this is time to, my dad used to have a saying, he says, straighten up and fly right. For years, I what does that mean, straighten up and fly right? That means to know where you're going and how you're going to get there. Straighten up and fly right. Know where you're going and how you're going to get there. And so when you look at the results that you have to date, then you ask yourself, what skills do I need to perfect? What do I need to learn a little bit more of? Maybe I need to learn how to handle my money. Maybe I'm making a lot of money, but I'm spending a lot of money, and maybe I need to get better at money management. Maybe I need to go out and buy a book on budgeting, or have somebody, my accountant, somebody sit with me so that I can understand budgeting. Because if you don't understand budgeting, it doesn't matter how much you make, how much you spend, you're going to always end up broke. So what skills do I need to develop to get where I want to go? Many of us are entrepreneurs. I'm a network marketer. And I know in most entrepreneur type environments, you get to a point where you sort of hit the wall. It's like, man, no matter what I do, I can't seem to go to this next income level. And it works all the way. There's some people that are stuck at 20,000 a year. There's some people that are stuck at 100,000 a year. Believe it or not, there's some people who are stuck making $1 million a year saying the same thing. What can I do to move up? What can I do to make more? And so what skills must I possess to help me get where I want to go? Find out what they are and then act accordingly, learn them, master them. And number 3, what lessons do I choose to learn? That's a profound statement, folks. What lessons do I choose to learn? See, life is always teaching. Someone once said, when people tell you who they are, believe them. People tell you who they are all along. It's just that based on whatever your personal needs are. You know, some people just need to be loved, and so they'll accept anything from anybody. So what lessons do you choose to learn? Thomas Edison, after he failed time and time again to find the filament, the lesson he learned was this: I've never failed. I'm identifying ways that do not work. Change that mindset. When I was a child, my mother was a music teacher, and she sent me to her competition because she thought I had absolutely no talent. Her statement to one of her friends, she said, whenever Herbert sits down at the piano, thank God there are only 88 keys. Sooner or later, he'll find the right ones. What lessons do you choose to learn? And then learn them. See, many times our ego will keep us from learning what we need to learn to get where we need to go. We can be so stuck on being right that we can't see what we have to do right to get where we want to go. Wow, folks, I was animated today. I tell you, just so to wrap up today, the key thing is this. Look at people. How much do you value yourself? For companies, for people out there who are in that management mode, think about how you can make a person feel appreciated. Appreciation is much more valuable than money. People work harder to be appreciated, to be liked, to be valued. For us, for the individual, for the people who are moving to move to this next level, ask those questions about yourself that can help you focus, help you straighten up and fly right. Ask, what do you need to do differently to get desired results in your life? And then act accordingly. Ask, what skills do you need to possess to get where you need to go and achieve the things you want in your life? And then act accordingly, get those skills. And then ask, what lessons do I choose to learn? To look at every failure, look at every disappointment as a dress rehearsal for success. There are only victories and lessons. You never fail. Everything that happens is to teach you how to do it differently, how to do it better, how to do it more effectively, how to get, how to be what you want to be, how to do what you want to do, and how to have whatever you want to have. Wow. I was motivated today, folks. Thanks so much for being with us today. Please share this message with at least 3 other people. Hey, get your copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. Go to our website, herbertharris.info, and that gives you the link treated. It'll take you to our website and to all the other good stuff we're doing. This is your recipe book for success. Take it, make it work for you. Share this broadcast with at least 3 other people and make some comments. I want to read about your success. What are you doing to transform your life from what it is to what you really want it to be? You can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have whatever you want to have, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Dr. Herbert Harris saying, thanks for joining us on Motivation Monday, and I'll sing it on out. The time to love is here. Let these troubled days be done. I tell you, come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time to love is here. Let these troubled days be done. So it is.